Hello and welcome back, everybody. Heir of Slayers here, and we're going to be jumping into Malakai Makaisson's campaign. Yes, I can finally show the DLC, though I do think that this DLC has been thoroughly shown over the last week because of kind of an oversight or misinterpretation, whatever you want to call it, of the NDA. But no one's been showing campaign gameplay, but I think that all these units were basically showed in battles. But now we can show you the campaign, and I can jump in, although, like I said, this may have already been thoroughly taken care of last week by others, but I'm going to play some Malakai campaign, and we're going to get you all a bit of a vision of it. I will probably play a full campaign with Malakai and with Elspeth. Tamarkan, I'm not sure yet. It depends. Like, honestly, I haven't played Tamarkan a whole lot because, again, Nurgle is just unappetizing, unpleasant to look upon, and unfun to play. However, I am going to be trying it just to see how it goes because maybe Tamarkan finally makes Nurgle fun. And we'll see. But I wanted to cover these first just because they were more interest to me. But I will cover all of them, so keep an eye out. In any case, let's get this one started. As far as faction effects and lord effects, that's all here. Obviously, we're going to have the Spirit of Grungni, which is the giant airship. It's going to be our base of operations on the campaign map. Kind of works like the pirate ships, you know, where you can recruit from them. Has some cool features with it, though. It should be fun. And then we've got deranged munitions here, which is going to be a cool lord effect that's going to obviously help us improve missile attack. And then we get extra missile strength for artillery and flying war machine units. Upkeep drop for artillery, flying war machines, so anything that's guns and gyrocopters obviously is going to be focused on. You start the campaign with Gotrek and Felix, which should be interesting. And then we've got Malakai's Adventures, which we'll take a look at when we get into the campaign.
From the earliest age of the Engineers Guild, the Dawi have forged machines of war. Wonders hewn of Gromril and gold. Trusted plans handed down through generations. Yet there are those who defy tradition. Cast out from the guild for his outlandish ideas, Malakai Makaisson now seeks to regain his honor, his Slayer oath to be fulfilled through iron, grit, and glory.
Let's get started. We've got some serious work to do.
All right, folks. Well, I liked that intro in the sense that it was kind of cool to see something specifically made for Malakai, and then also it was the voice acting kind of like had Galadriel vibes to me. I don't know if you all picked up on that, but that's what it sounded like to me. Hey, speaking of Nurgle being unpleasant to look at and annoying, guess what we get to kill right away? A bunch of Nurgle, so let's kick that one off. I figured we should start things off by getting a good look at Malakai here on the battle map, let you see some of his animations, his weaponry. You've probably seen this already. I'll try not to make him phase out of screen there when I get closer. But yeah, pretty cool looking character model. A lot of interesting detail. Got the cool spiky Slayer red hair going on. But yeah, Malakai is definitely not going to be a mammoth in melee. Like if you look at his weapon strength, it's pretty good, but it's not going to be a majority of armor piercing. So again, let's just kind of dive into some of his stats here. But like, if you take a look at his melee stats, again, not amazing, not bad, but he has 0 armor. So I mean, he's definitely going to take some beating when he gets into melee because his melee defense is not amazing for someone with 0 armor. He's really not intended to get into a big melee. And he is unbreakable, so you will have that. It's a benefit and a curse at times, just kind of depends there. Does have death blow, like you would see on some Slayer units here. So when his hit points get lower, he is going to get stronger. And then he's got this deranged munitions where he can buff attacks. And then if we take a look at some of the other skills here, we got this Slayer here. It says can never have their weapon strength reduced during a battle, so that's pretty nice. He has some innate missile resistance and spell resistance, and then does have the siege attacker quality. Now he has a lot of missile strength, and he can pack a punch from about 180 meter, I'm assuming meters, I'm just going to call it meters, away. So he is going to be impressive from range, but he's really more of a support lord than he is a melee lord, so something for us to keep in mind. We do get Gotrek and Felix. We do have some new units here. Well, first of all, we have the reworked gyrocopters, which come in larger numbers, and these are the new brimstone guns. I'll let you all see them in action. I'm gonna be honest, like, I'm not fond of the new brimstone guns yet. They may come to change my mind, but at current, I actually hate what they did with brimstone guns. I am not a fan. I'll let you all see, and you can tell me what you think. We do have another new unit here, which is going to be these Doom Seekers. Now, this is an incredibly powerful melee unit. Bonus versus infantry, armor piercing, high attack, very solid weapon strength. A lot of it is armor piercing, and that bonus versus infantry is going to be like armor piercing against infantry anyway. And I mean, these guys are going to be absolutely vicious. And then they have this Whirlwind of Death ability that they can use at least once when they're in there as well. So, I mean, they are going to be very, very valuable units. You're going to want to keep them away from like missile fire and other stuff like that. Gotrek and Felix, of course, can let you do some good tanking. This army, I'm sitting here, we are going to be fighting Nurgle. I'm going to deploy a little bit over here, actually, and we'll kind of set this up. I'm going to get our miners with the blasting charges, put them on a defensive formation up front. I'll put my thunders up front, and I'm going to see if we can get a blob going with Gotrek and Felix, and then we'll keep Malakai back here to do a little bit of support, and we'll go use our gyrocopters to harass. And then we want our cannon, of course, to be able to get some good shooting done. So let's see what we can do here. I got my guns set up, and let's take our gyrocopters. And let me come show you all the new gyrocopters. So it has the burnt. There's only 9 ammunition. That is very low ammunition. There are quite a few gyrocopters, and they cause some pretty good non-armor piercing. Now remember, they used to be armor piercing, which was something that made the brimstone gun somewhat unique. Now I'll have to try out the new steam guns as well. But I mean, you can see here, it's actually just a flamethrower. And if any unit would be very vulnerable to the flamethrowers, you would think it would be the Plague Bearers of Nurgle. And honestly, like, I mean, again, you all watch, again, for the very limited ammo you have, like, they kind of all fire, like, sometimes at the same target. Like, I just don't see this being massively useful. Like, I don't know. Like I said, if you all think different, we'll keep using them for a while. You can tell me what you think. I mean, do they do damage? Yes. But at the damage level and the limited ammunition that they're at, again, not super impressive. They seem like something that would kind of constantly have to have their ammunition replenished. And they're slow to reload. The fire speed is slow. Gyrocopters still don't fire while moving unless that technology is still there available to research, which maybe it is. But again, I don't know. Let's try it on a single entity, see if it works any better. But it doesn't seem to be wildly effective against a Plague Bearer, again, which I would think would be a fairly good target for it. And it seems like it's pretty much all but ineffective against a single entity. And that one, again, only has mild armor. So yeah, not thrilled with the changes to the brimstone gun. Just gonna put that one out there, honestly. I don't like it, and I will see, because obviously the dwarves got more units, and I think the idea here is that they don't want to make them OP, and so they probably nerfed the brimstone gun. But I don't know. This just makes me wonder whether there would be a better way to do it. But maybe there isn't. I don't know. But I'll try to make use of these. But look, we're almost out of ammo. We've only got 6 kills, and our damage is fairly minimal, like, all things considered. All right, so we're gonna get the blasting charges out there. I'm gonna get Malakai and back up a little bit too, because I don't want him into melee. And we'll use our Doom Seekers to reinforce as necessary. But once I get my missiles behind the line, we'll basically come in. I'm gonna bring my, I mean, if my gyros were ever going to be useful, oh, speaking of useful, let's call in the Spirit of Grungni, because it's the real power of Malakai's army. It's definitely the ultimate power, the dwarf army. There is an ability on it, which is this Spirit of Grungni, so it requires a line of sight to target for the Spear of Grungni. Let's use this. It's like a special magic missile attack. And then we also have this Thunder Burner, which you click it and it turns on, and then you go faster. I'm not really sure what the downside is to this. Does it change the damage per second? Let's see, it's 25 to 50. I don't know what the difference is, like with this thing on or off, other than the speed. It seems like all upside to me, but then again, I could be missing something because I just haven't delved into it, you know, super deep. But I mean, the Spirit of Grungni dishes out tremendous damage. It's an extremely powerful asset to Malakai. You basically just fly it up and down the line, at least that's what I like to do, and just wreak absolute havoc. Yeah, look at this, our gyrocopters are parked behind this. I thought they had fire at will on. I don't know if they did or didn't, but they weren't firing, it doesn't appear. I've noticed this with them, sometimes they won't fire. I think they have a min range, and even with the min range, like it's not marked on there, but I'm pretty sure they have a min range, and yeah, there they go. Now they started firing. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not pleased with the changes to the Brimstone guns. All right, so that's the battle over. Like, check this out. We only got a 406 value on the Brimstone gun firing into infantry. I could be missing something. You know, if someone has posted a video with the Brimstone guns and they're amazing, please point me to it. Like, I'd like to understand how they work and like what they're good at. But I would think, if anything, it would be good against a Plague Bearer. They are not. We'll try them against other things. But again, not impressed with that. Malakai, again, is probably not going to be the one dealing all your damage. It's really going to be your missile units. No surprise here for Dwarf Army. You can see there that the cannon does most of the work. I didn't put the Doom Seekers in till late and against Nurglings. But Doom Seekers are a unit that you can get tons of kills with them. When I was playing this prior to being able to show you all, I mean, I was able to get sometimes 400 plus kills with Doom Seekers in the right scenarios, like especially against stuff like Skaven, where they just don't have a chance. We'll go ahead and auto-resolve this one, and we'll take this settlement off of the Nurgle faction there and get rid of them. So let's talk a little bit about the campaign mechanics now that we got the first battle out of the way. So this is Malakai's Adventures up here. It will only become available after turn 5, so we'll get to it and we'll talk about those adventures when we get there. We do have the new Age of Reckoning. I've already showed this in a different video. I guess I can recover it real quick, but these Ages of Reckoning, as you pay back grudges, which, speaking of paying back grudges, like see grudges incurred, there's 30 and 285 over here, 402 at Hell Pit. Like, so some of these places have a whole lot of grudges to pay back. As you pay back those grudges and get up to a certain level, so you can see here, for instance, we're at 649 at 2600, it opens the next Age of Reckoning. When you get to the next Age of Reckoning, it starts to build up to giving you more buffs. And then as you go into the new Great Book of Grudges, which again, I made a video about this. If you want to know more details about it, you should go check that out. But I'm assuming most of you all do know. And you're able to get these Grudge Settler units during the Age of Reckoning. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. And of course, Malakai's Adventures, like I said, we'll explain that one when we get there and when it unlocks. The technology tree, I also talked about this in the other video, has been reworked. It's really quite nice. If I take a look here, speed for infantry, gather the throngs. When I look at guilds, this growth and the diplomatic relations is kind of handy early on. The growth, if anything, is probably handy to get to, but that's a full-on 5 turns. What we may do is just go ahead and unlock each of these first ones because they're quick and easy to do. Let's just go ahead and do marching songs, then we'll do the other. If you are going to get the growth, you probably want to do it early. Let's take a look at the buildings here. So, as far as what we would want to build, with Malakai, I really want to try out the new Grudge Rakers, the Thunder with the Grudge Rakers, and they are available at tier 3. So it looks like the Arms Foundry has changed some there. It used to be go up to a higher tier building, but now it's just a tier 3 one, so we can build it in any of the settlements. At the moment, though, we don't have any special buildings for infantry, which kind of sucks because it means we're going to be somewhat limited. But we do have the building in our airship, which means the bunks building here, so we can do some recruiting from it. So speaking of, let's go back and check out the recruiting screen. So with Malakai, you can see here I can recruit different units from the Spirit of Grungni, potentially, depending on whether the buildings differ from what I have there. I'm going to go ahead and grab me some more Dwarf Warriors while we are sitting here. We are going to want to do a few things. I need more growth on the Spirit of Grungni before I could put in an arms store, which I want to do because I'd like to be able to recruit those units on the road. And then maybe what we'll do then is focus our settlement a little more towards defense, because we'll probably get attacked by, what's the ugly troll over here? Throg and others. So we'll probably want to have decent defenses at Krakadrak. And then we can upgrade Malakai's airship. All that's available right now, though, is a gain of unit experience, or we can get a production of dwarf beer, and it reduces upkeep, which honestly is pretty good. So I am going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll want to save our growth points. We have some skill points, obviously, and if we go take a look at the special skill tree for Malakai, we have Inventor here, which is going to give you extra Master Engineers, which is quite nice, also improves research rate. Then we have the Slayer here, which gives us an upkeep reduction cost for Slayers, which is fun. So if you're looking for that thematic Slayer army, eat your heart out, Ungrim. You're probably going to have a better one here with Malakai. You get a weapon strength buff for all Slayer units and a missile strength buff. So we'll definitely have to look at something quite Slayer focused. Maybe like Slayers and Grudge Rakers or something would be quite fun. You got Tinkerer here, which of course another facet of Malakai is all the machines and the artillery, and that's exactly what this is going for here. They're going to replenish quicker, and they're going to get a reload time reduction, which effectively means more damage. He's got the Artillery Master, which again, more ammunition for him, reload time reduction for him, and then he gets the passive ability, Artillery Master, which is going to let him further buff artillery there, which is pretty significant because it hits everything in a 55-meter radius. This is going to be a very effective skill for Malakai. It should be quite interesting. Then we got Architect, which is kind of boring. It's just going to make construction a little bit faster and cheaper. So another one of those skills that I guess they just throw those in, so not all of them are overly fun or exciting. And then this one's going to increase his range, armor-piercing damage, and it upgrades to ranged munitions, which will make it stronger. So pretty fun stuff. As far as other things, he does have the extremely daring Death Blow over here. Oath of Forging. Again, a lot of this stuff's pretty standard as we come through it. There is this bit here, which is the Tapestry of Oaths, which again, going to improve Slayers. Same thing with this. So there's going to be a lot of Slayer buffs as we go through here. Cinder Blast Cluster Bomb, by the way, a special weapon ability you can get there. So that one ought to be fun as well. So in Malakai, we'll upgrade into a ranged support lord, essentially, which is good. We like that type of thing. I'm going to go ahead and I think we focus on like ranged and artillery for damage. Our infantry will probably hold the line just fine. You know, being Slayer or even Dwarf infantry, it should be quite tough. Let's go ahead and upgrade. Let's do a training, one there, and then let's take Felix, replenish troops, one there as well. Awesome. So let's go ahead and end our turn, and we'll get ready to move on to the next target. All right, Wintertooth Confederated, the Norscans here. Not a huge surprise, so I do expect Wintertooth to be out here and attacking us quite soon. But let's head over here to the lair of the Troll King. I can't reach it entirely in this turn, but we will cross into enemy territory rather quickly. However, there is a special march that we have here, which is the Airship camp. So it's going to allow us to be able to move, replenish, be immune to most attrition, because essentially we're flying in the airship as a camp, so we're going to move it forward. And then we got the Spirit of Grungni up here, and because we have the Spirit of Grungni, we're able to also do some recruiting from it, but we're also able to recruit locally here too, which is, again, just useful. I look at the breakout here. I've got a couple of standard warriors. I got some of the miners. I like kind of mixing it up here. I obviously want ranged units at this point, but I might... The blasting charges aren't that amazing, though. I think I'll just go with standard warriors because they're just way more survivable. A lot of people really like the blasting charges. I guess they're okay, but I'm just not like completely blown away by them. Let's go ahead and end ourselves another turn here. All right, that other recruiting was going through the global recruitment, was taking too long, so I just kept the one unit that we got from the Spirit of Grungni, and I'm going to push forward to the lair of the Troll King. We're going to pick up a nice bunch of grudges from destroying the lair of the Troll King, and I'm going to auto-resolve this because we probably have something more fun coming up anyway, so that we can take care of this province. That gives us the entire Giant Home Mountains. And if we take a look at like our legendary grudges, we need like one of the grudges that we want to try and repay because it restores the underway network of the old world, underway network to old world mountains and gray mountains. Basically, if we own all the different dwarf settlements are controlled by dwarves, then that's going to be a get. Obviously, we can go after the High Elves. That would be a grudge too far at the moment. And there's other fun ones here that, again, I showed on my other videos. So if you want to see more about these, definitely go check that out. There's a whole bunch of these. So like the Umgi of Chaos, this would be a good one for us to look at because we are near all of these. and it takes the cooldown after underway network travel down by -3 turns. And speaking of the underway network travel, if you go look here, these little tunnels here, if we go restore these locations, we can essentially fast travel to these different locations in dwarf territory, which makes it interesting because the dwarves can really focus on retaking those lands that rightfully belong to them, which again should be a lot of fun and quite thematic, I feel like. So I look forward to that. Now we can build a building in the airship, but I want to save it and be able to build a better building. So I'm going to save our growth there. I'm going to put a point over here into tactician to improve our artillery, and then I'm going to take these other skill points, put them into hard to hit for Gotrek and Felix. But then we need to go over to our recruitment. Now that we don't have to use the global recruitment and we can do it a little bit faster, I'm going to go ahead and grab another dwarf warrior and another warrior great weapon. I really want to have some missile units, which we just don't have access to yet, but we will get to them. We finished the Way of the Guilds and we finished marching songs. The next one here is going to give us that growth. Let's go ahead and get that because early on it'll make more difference. And then let's go ahead and skip that. And we do have a commandment available. We can get better control and anti-corruption, but the other thing we could do here is just get extra growth, which I'm going to go ahead and do. It also increases tradable resources. And speaking of trade, I should have already gone into diplomacy looking for quick deals. And if we go over here, Boris wants to trade with us, though I do worry how long Boris could keep up a trade agreement. Like, is he going to get killed? Let's go ahead and make this deal with Tsarina Katerin. She's likely to survive a little longer than Boris, but I guess we could go ahead and open trade with Boris here too. Try and make a friend, and hopefully he'll be successful. And we have the Druzina Enclave, Ropsman clan. Let's go with the Great Orthodoxy here. And we'll just get as many of these trade agreements as we're able to get.
I speak for Kislev.
Because we're going to pick up a little bit of money through this as well. All right, there we go. So we're no longer able to pick up any more of those. The Ropsman clan, though, still wants a non-aggression pact, which seems totally amicable. That's all we can do for now in diplomacy, but it definitely increased our income rather substantially. We are going to continue our recruiting, and let's end another turn. Well, one of our trade partners just died, so that lasted all of a turn. It's a good thing we took some of their money while we were at it. Let's go back to the quick deal and see if that means we can get another new one. We can. Let's go to the Ropsman clan now. There we go. And we have established trade with them, though our income's down a little bit because of the new recruiting. Not a big surprise. I'm going to come out of the settlement. I'm going to go back into the airship camp with the idea that I will be able to recruit still from the Spirit of Grungni. I don't have any ranged units yet, but we are going to set up this building, which gives me access to Dragon Slayer unit here, which is going to be amazing. It's kind of like a mini Gotrek. And then we have access to Slayer Pirates and Slayers. And the Slayer Pirates would be a fun new unit. They're kind of like Free Company Militia, except Slayers, and their missile strength is a lot stronger. They're not very impressive in melee, but their missile strength is absolutely devastating. It is only close range missile strength, but it's still fun. So we're going to go ahead and build that, and let's go over here and continue to do a little bit of recruiting. We've got Spirit of Grungni and Giant Home Mountains. We're still in our territory, so we can recruit rather quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and stack some units here because we are coming up against Hell Pit here rather quickly, and the Skaven will no doubt be heavily reinforced. Malakai's adventures have finally unlocked because we're on turn 5, so let's go take a look at the adventures. You're basically able to pick Dreadquake Destruction. Oof, that sounds brutal. Granted, when you start this adventure, though, we get gyro. Oh, we could try the steam gyros. That would be cool. And now look, the steam gyrocopters are now the ones that are armor piercing. I hate the brimstone guns, so maybe I need to do this one so that we can try the standard gyrocopters and get a feel for that. This one gives us extra cannons, which are fun too. We'll be fighting against high elves. Let's go ahead and start this adventure. We can pick either one. I'm assuming this one might be a little bit harder. It says legendary battle rewards. Yep. We've got glaive gun. That looks like it's fun. Emergency repairs, passive regeneration. That also sounds fun. All right, so the way these adventures go is you basically pay, we start it, and then we have all these little sub-missions. And if we get enough of them unlocked, then we can do the main mission. But these little sub-missions are giving us things here. So kill 1,000 enemies with gyrocopters, and that's going to be, well, you're not going to do it with the brimstone gun. That'll take like 6 years. So hopefully the the steam copters are better. So we got to kill 1,000 enemies with gyrocopters. This one here, it says fight convoy army. If we see one, I guess we can. This one wants us to fight 3 battles in the wasteland climate. That probably shouldn't be too hard. Depends on what's around us. Then we have gyrocopters here. So maintain 3 of the total. We need gyrocopters. Trollhammer gyrocopters sound extremely fun. And then we've got these 5 battles against Chaos Dwarves. Man, this may have been a mistake for me to start this one that early. So we may not have the stuff for it. I don't know if we can do... Yeah, we can't do another one yet. I probably should have done the High Elf one because it was a little more relevant at the moment. But in any case, we'll go ahead and do this. The very first thing we'll want to do is get in here, I believe, in the special recruitment. Higher adventure units. Yeah, here we've got our gyrocopters, and I'm going to get the steam ones since they actually have some armor-piercing damage. And since we need more kills with gyrocopters, I'm just going to drop one of these miners as well. And I'm just going to grab in the extra gyrocopter like that. So there we go. So we've got 4 gyrocopter units. They have bombs too, and we might be able to get a fair number of kills with the bombs. So we'll have to remember that. I do believe we can make it all the way to hell pit. There is probably... Oh, no, hang on. That was just our heroes. We can't make it all the way to hell pit. So we'll come up here and camp closer to hell pit. We're going to need some more growth before we can really do much from a building standpoint on the airship. Well, actually, no, we're not. We can go ahead and run an upgrade here, which would give us access to eventually better infantry, but also quarrelers, should we choose it. Or we could get this one, which drops our upkeep cost. We'll probably want both, to be honest. So let's go ahead. We'll also... I kind of want 2 growth points, though, so we can get the... We can eventually get to the Thunderer Grudge Rakers, so I think I might save my stuff for that. We actually have enough money here, or sorry, Oath Gold, in the Forge, but I'm actually not going to use it at the Forge right now. The reason being is because I want to use that on certain research. Certain research requires Oath Gold. So I'm going to go ahead and skip that and end our turn. We've finished researching the heavy Kernstones, so now what I'm going to do is actually switch over to clans, and I'm going to start working my way up to this Interlocking Shields, which has the new Shield Wall ability for Dwarf Infantry. It's going to take a long time, and we need 250 Oath Gold, which means we have more Oath Gold to earn, but we have some turns to earn it. Now, I am going to go ahead and attack Hell Pit. They're just becoming stronger. If we kill the Skaven here early, and the reason why I'm doing this is because it'll save some of Kislev from its enemies. It'll help them out. It'll help me secure a flank over here, and then it'll allow me to turn around and focus on Wintertooth, which will definitely need a good focusing. I don't remember whether we got into the Age of Reckoning yet. I don't think we did, but let me just double check. Recruit Grudge Settlers. Yeah, we do not have any of this stuff in the Age of Reckoning yet. So we're almost there. We may get there with the grudges that we saw. We're right here. No, we won't get there yet. But if we keep fighting, we'll get there soon enough. So let's go ahead and hit Hell Pit here. I would imagine there's going to be a stiff garrison and possibly a reinforcing army coming soon. Right now, it gives us a chance of just kind of immediate victory. It says medium casualties. And I need to make sure I get a lot of kills on my gyrocopters. The thing is, we do have to be a little bit careful here because there are some range units for the Skaven. But I would imagine that we can win this rather easy. Now, if I siege them, we very well... Because if we look here, Throt isn't here, which means he's probably somewhere nearby. And I've got 2 options. I can attack, and if we win, but get the crap kicked out of us, then Throt will probably show up with a full stack, and then we have to fight that too. Or if we stay here, Throt's going to come, and then we're going to have to fight this giant settlement garrison, plus his full stack, plus these guys, which could get a little bit hairy. So I say we just fight them now. I'm going to start off by destroying the tower up there that Clan Molder's operating, and I'm going to send Gotrek and Felix to rip the gates down. And I'm going to start running my infantry forward and get into position to scale the walls. I may have... Yeah, crap. I misallocated my Doomseeker, but I mean, I guess the good thing here is that they've left troops over here to garrison against the Doomseekers, but I don't want that tower killing my amazing unit, so I will have to just kind of run away that for a minute, which is unfortunate because the Doomseekers would have done tremendous damage here. Let's go ahead and get our gyrocopters and go start wreaking havoc. Again, we'll have to watch out for Skaven missiles because they will be able to hurt our gyrocopters rather significantly. We are about to get rid of that tower that's harassing us, though. And then we can... I can't shoot this one. There's some kind of bug that doesn't allow me to shoot the other... Oh, crap. Okay. Well, fortunately for me, they summoned on my Thunderers rather than where they should have, which was on my cannon. I'll have to leave a unit back here to deal with them. The unit would have been perfect. Unfortunately, I don't have it here. Let's pull up the gyrocopters and kind of just unleash some fury and see what happens. Their units are kind of fleeing away off of the walls, which is good for me because then they won't be able to shoot me. But I am going to start scaling the walls. And I'll have a second grouping of infantry ready. What happened to Gotrek and Felix? I thought I gave them... Oh, crap. Warp Lightning. Warp Lightning is just utterly devastating the units on walls, which is really rather unfortunate. We are not getting much done, and we're already losing, like, quite a bit of health in our gyrocopter. Oh, freaking Howling Warp Gale. I hate the Skaven. Like, with every bone in my body, I hate the Skaven. They are so annoying. Like, every ability they have is just intensely annoying and frustrating. Like, I hate Skaven. Like, I mean, it's only fun to play as them when you have a whole bunch of mortars. I am just not a fan of these smelly stink rats. I'm gonna try and get my units to start shooting at some of these missile units, because the missile units are gonna shoot us down if I don't do something about them rather quickly. That Warp Lightning is gonna just be gruesome. There we go. We are cutting down a pretty good number of their slingers here, which will allow me to fire freely. I think I'm gonna try the steam guns and see whether they are any good at hitting. And I'm gonna just put the brimstone guns back over here. We're still busy trying to cut through the gate. Did their summons get my cannon? No, but they probably tried. My cannon's kind of being useless at the moment. Wonder if I can shoot the door while Gotrek and Felix are down in there. As you can see, ah man, another Howling Warp Gale. Stupid Skaven. Hate the Skaven so much. All right, well, my copters don't seem to be particularly useful against the enemy lord, so I think what I'm going to do is just line... Well, I was going to line them up here, but we've got a stupid gutter runner, or night runner, that came up behind us. So let's turn around and bash it with some fire. There's someone coming in. Is the gate... No, the gate's not destroyed, but Gotrek and Felix ended up through the gate, because that's just what happens. Well, one of them is through the gate, which is Gotrek. The other one can't even fight the gates because CA still has all these things, and then my guys didn't climb the ladders over here, which is amazing as well. So we've got all kinds of weirdness going on. It's really quite spectacular. I'm gonna turn around. How many kills are we getting on the gyros? It's still gonna take us a while to get to 1,000, but if we keep fighting Skaven, it may be sooner than we think. So I'm gonna let these guns just kind of get up here in behind the Skaven and unload. See if we can get some work done. As the Skaven come up to me, though, with missile units, I'll have to turn around and kind of target and drive those away, because they will hurt me rather badly. I think the gatehouse is finally destroyed, which means that we can send Gotrek and Felix into combat, and I can reinforce them. They are still busy summoning units back here, because the Skaven had many summons. I could summon the Thunder Barge as well, and we might as well. There's a lot of Skaven down here. All right, we got rid of those. Let's bring the gyrocopters over. And again, maybe just kind of point back here. I'm going to turn on... I don't remember if that's good against single entities or if it's best for, like, groups. Let's find out again real quick. Ooh, that is a huge spear. I love it. Well, I did some pretty good damage there. I'm going to turn on the Thunder Burner here and just kind of run around wrecking. Run roughshod all of these guys. We're already getting a ton of kills here. Felix just got hit by something really hard. May have been a rat ogre down there. He is getting chunked by something. Yeah, Felix is just getting dropped by that rat ogre at the moment. He's gonna need some help. Gotrek can get... Yeah, Felix got absolutely owned by the mutant rat ogre. Oh, and then the brood horrors after him as well. Let's bring in more reinforcements. Our gyrocopters are kind of unloading into the back of this, and even the brimstone guns got some kills. I wouldn't call it an impressive number of kills. The steam ones seem to be far better at the moment. I'm gonna go ahead and give an attack order and send some more units in here. Gotrek could have used Felix's heals. Let's bring Malakai up here as well. I think maybe the summon... No, the summons still aren't done. They're still summoning rats. They've just kind of held my stuff back here. But honestly, Thunderers and stuff probably weren't going to do me a huge bunch of good in this battle anyway. Let's turn around and get rid of these guys. The Spirit of Grungni has 117 kills. To be honest, the Spirit of Grungni can certainly do better. So let's keep it moving. It is a summon, so it will degrade over time, unfortunately. It doesn't stay in our hearts forever. If you fly over infantry blobs, I'm pretty sure it drops bombs and stuff on them, like that. So we can fly around in here and attempt to get it even more kills. Certainly recommend you kind of keep it moving for the most part. Okay, where are we at? Oh, some of our gyrocopters went into melee because they already ran out of ammo. Other ones are getting cut up pretty badly. I'm actually gonna retreat my gyrocopters before they get too damaged. This one that has no ammo needs to be... we could drop bombs. Why can't I use bombs? Oh, there it goes. All right, I think they were in melee, so we couldn't drop the bombs. We could certainly use the bombs in order to get more kills. Let's fly the... Oh, no! The Spirit of Grungni had to go back home. That's unfortunate. All right, let's continue pushing against the Skaven. Our Doomseekers are like a mile away, and I should have already been running them over here. They would have been really quite amazing. We might still be able to bring the Doomseekers over here because they're not garrisoning that tower. Let's go chew through the gates with the Doomseekers. I wish I hadn't misdeployed them. Let's bring Malakai up. If Gotrek and Felix get back around each other again, they'll start some heals. We need to get rid of this Warlock Master. He's annoying. We've now got the Brood Horror and other units under control. I'm going to bring these Steam Gyros back in. They've still got a lot of ammo, and they're not as dinged up as the other ones are. I'm going to bring them in and see if we can do some work here. Actually, this one is still under fire. Let's just kind of get them out of here. All right, there we go. I got the Steam Gyros coming back in. 97, 70, 97, 120. Okay, we were getting a decent number of kills. We could meet our kill threshold in a reasonable time, I think, at this rate. All right, Gotrek and Felix are healing. These guys are turned around where they've got a good shot into the back of these Skaven units here, so we're just going to let them do their thing.
Withdraw!
The steam guns appear to be fairly effective, and they're going to have armor piercing. What are the Skaven hanging on to here, leadership-wise? He's going to go after Felix again. I love how the AI will prioritize just a single target and no others. Like, it's only interested in Felix right now. I guess it considers him to be the valuable one because of the healing. I'm not really sure what their logic is. I'm going to send those guys up onto the wall, actually. Let's bring Malakai in here and see if we can get him into a shooting position. Again, I'm trying to just turn my gyros to get shots into the back of this stuff. Just kill absolutely as many Skaven as possible. With these steam helicopters, the steam gyros, I do feel like we're going to relatively quickly be able to hit that 1,000 kill threshold if we continue to fight stuff like Skaven, because there's a considerable number of kills to be had here. Did our Doomseekers ever cut through the gates yet? Not quite. They're still cutting through the gates. If they do, we shouldn't have a very difficult time getting in there and cutting some of them up. Our Doomseekers took a little bit of damage from some ranged units, though, I think. Oh, man. Yeah, we're getting a good number of kills. I don't know why these steam ones have so much more ammo and are so much more effective. The brimstone guns just... It's like they switched. The steam one is now the brimstone gun, and the brimstone gun's now the steam one, and the steam ones didn't used to be super helpful, though I think they were better than what they are now. So I'm not really sure what the reasoning is. I'll have to try and look deeper into that. How in the world is their lord still alive up here, just completely surrounded by infantry? I'm gonna buff these Thunders. They've now got a commanding firing position up there. And then we are still just steam gunning away into here. I've got almost 200 kills on both of the steam variants, and we got through the gates. Let's just go around their little fortification because they can't stop me from going in every direction at once. So I'm going to bring these guys around, and we'll see if we can come catch these Skaven slave slingers. And I'll try and get you all some close-ups, but I'm thinking the AI may rout before any of this ever happened. How did that Brood War do any damage? Does it have a bonus versus infantry? No, it's just armor piercing, but we don't have armor. Okay, let's go take these guys out. I'm gonna keep my steam guns pointed at the Skaven. We've got their Lord in a worse position now because I got even more units, and then I did bring Malakai up there to help beat him up a little. And fast for a dwarf doesn't mean fast. Something to remember. These guys are really quite slow. I mean, there's 44, so again, fast for a dwarf. That's probably like the same speed the Skaven have. Let's see whether we can get in behind these Skaven slave slingers. They might run the other way through. Yeah, there we got them. Let's give you all some close-ups of... This is very much below what they're capable of slaying, but here's the Doom Seekers using their chain axe things there, which are very cool. We're being shot by a tower in the background, which is annoying because the tower will probably get more damage done on me, but look how quickly they can rack up kills. Again, I know Skaven slave slingers, but still, those guys are incredibly capable, albeit lacking in some protection, but that is pretty run-of-the-mill for slayers, is it not? I got kind of some blobs going here, which is not the best thing ever. We did rout the Skaven Lord there. Let's go ahead and move some of these units down here. Now that we have gotten rid of him, I've got other units. Again, the steam guns kind of having their way with the Skaven here. We've gotten almost 500 kills just with the steam guns at this point, which is an impressive showing. I wonder how well they kill towers. I don't really want to waste my ammo on the towers. I like to get the kills, but the towers are shooting me. So I'm just kind of curious, like how much damage can these steam guns do to these annoying AI-built towers? Decent-ish. It's... Honestly, we're probably better off to just ignore those towers and keep flying like they're not going to be able to kill me within the time frame given. That Skaven Lord hasn't routed. How did Malakai get beat up that quick? That Skaven Lord did way more work than he should have been able to get away with. I guess that bonus versus infantry ended up making him relatively effective. And again, like, on what planet are the Skaven holding their leadership together here? I don't understand. Like, they are absolutely thrashed. I'm just chasing them around, steam gunning them here. They're routing troops. There we go. Got it taken care of. Well, fortunately, we got over... Whoa, we got more than that. It was over 700 kills, but now it's far more than that because they handed us kills, I guess, from what would have been the mop-up afterwards. So we may have just accomplished that single task there. Yeah, I think we did. So let's go ahead and click our check mark here and occupy the settlement. So there you go. That's a good start for Malakai. I will continue to show his campaign, but so we got this Dreadquake one, so we have the number of gyrocopters needed, and we hit 1,000 kills in the single battle thanks to those steam guns. Decent number of kills that we had on the other. I need to wait one more turn and get some growth, and then I'm going to start building this arm stone here so that we can get, you know, a better stuff. This one does not require growth though, so we could go ahead and build these just because we have the cash to do so, and then we'll save our growth for the one that we're looking for. Our army is full. There's nothing else for us to recruit at the moment. However, I think we can get Slayer Pirates, and that might be kind of fun. So let's go ahead and go to here. Let's get rid of these miners with blasting charges. Let's disband them. And then I've got these dwarf warriors that we can probably like merge this one with this one. And then we can get maybe a couple of Slayer Pirates. It's going to take me a turn or two. But like right there, for instance, we can get 2 Slayer Pirates into the army and give them a try since they're a new unit. But anyway, that's about all the time I have for this one. I just wanted to introduce you all to Malakai. I will be playing some more Malakai as we are in early access so that you all get to see it. And then I will also be showing off Elspeth, and then eventually I'll get to Tamarkan as well. I hope you enjoyed it. HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I'll see you soon.